Did it ask you that yet, Governor?
Yes, it did.
All right, so now we good. Then let me share this on Facebook. All right, you can see your picture in that, Governor.
I see, yes, the flyer. I do, I do.
Yeah, yeah. All right, good. We are almost ready to rock and roll. The good thing with this being recorded, it allows people to have visuals. The one we did
Okay.
yesterday, it was a lot of visuals in there, so I always appreciate when people got something else to look at other than listening to us talk.
Okay. All right.
They would share that, all that good stuff. Okay, let's see what this looks like. All right, everyone, your host, Cy Smith, coming to you on a Saturday, Blue Saturday. It is the fourth and last Saturday of the month of July. It is 7 months in, you guys, and we are already here. It's always a pleasure to and honor to be able to be in front of you guys to give updates, to be accountable for what we've done in the last 30 days. That's the reason why we do this once a month and once a year summit, and it's done in a different neighborhood in Chicago every single month. But to that neighborhood is once a year. So this month in July, and every July, is North Lawndale, which is zip code 60623 on the west side of Chicago. And so for those who are on the west side, we'll be back again next July with the same maintenance, proximity, and excitement to bring before you. So I have with me today, because it is the last names A through E, as you can see here. So who I have with me today is one of our leaders who has been helping for over 2 decades. And she's respected already in her own light. And so we were honored to have her leadership, her experience, and arguably the biggest thing is her network, the people that she could pick up the phone, call, and get things done with and through. So with that in mind, we're going to hear from her at 3:15. It's 3:06 now. I want to go through the agenda so you guys can kind of know. But Pamela, you hear me?
I can. I
So the
can.
sound check is good. The mic check
It's
is good.
it's great.
Yeah, all right, good. What you think about that introduction so
That was
far?
very good. I said, who is he talking about? Oh, I forgot we're live.
Wait, now you already know what you bring to the table, so I
Okay.
just want others to hear that as well,
Okay.
so that way
All
they
right.
can, as they say,
Thank
the
you.
young people say, we're gonna put some respect on the name.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
okay, so what we're gonna do here, I want to shape it for others. I'm outside recording for the most part. I'm in the car, but I'll be outside as well. So you're gonna have background noise. I may go in and go out, but that's why we got different leaders who's gonna get on as well. And sometimes people walk up and want to know what's going on. So if not, if any disruptions, just know that's the reason why we want to be out here when it's summertime. We want to be out here where people can reach us at. So here's the rundown. Here's the agenda. This is what we expect to manifest today. We always begin with prayer. I've already done that before we got on. We do the roll call so that way you guys can hear every single zip code that's connected. And we check in with who we expecting to be on based on their last names being A through E. Then we go into the good news. We go into the rural reports because Mississippi is a big part of what we do. We go into the youth and the safety. We go into the economic development, the construction. We go into the education, the health, as well as the food. We go into the policies, governmental policies. We go to the legal arena, and then we summarize it with the Gary conventions and where we are next month. So that's the rundown. It is literally almost just 5 minutes for each topic. So it's very, the time goes by quick. It's a 2 hour Zoom, 2 hour meeting. Ideally, we'll be inside of a church and streaming online. So hopefully next July, the church, 14th and Holman would be able to host us. They had an event that they couldn't get out of to host us today. All right, with that in mind, I'm gonna start out with the roll call. So it's 20 zip codes, 606. We're gonna start with the west side zip codes. There's 6 zip codes covering the west side. 60612 zip code, 60623, 60624, 60639, 60644, and 60651. So now I'm gonna tell you the linkages, and I'm gonna tell you who the leaders, if the leaders should be on the call throughout today. So 60612 is known as East Garfield Park, Chicago, famous where the Bulls play at, where Malcolm X College is. That zip code, Byron Dickens is our leader. So we hope Byron will be able to get on today. 60623 is North Lawndale zip code. Oh, let me tell you, 60612 is linked to Ghana in Africa and Boston, Massachusetts, and they keep the list of all our scientists. 60623 is North Lawndale neighborhood, also on the west side. North Lawndale is led by Eric Strickland, so he's not expected to be on today. Last name S. They're linked to Los Angeles, California. They're linked to Senegal in Africa, and they keep the list of all our entertainers. So anyone singing, dancing, rapping, film, anything in entertainment, they keep that list for us. 60624 zip code is Garfield Park. Garfield Park is also on the west side. That zip code is led by Sandra Brinson. Sandra won't be able to be on with us, but she is going to be watching. That zip code is linked to Atlanta, Georgia, and Sierra Leone in Africa. 60639 zip code is the North Austin neighborhood. That zip code is led by Daisy Neal, last name N, not expecting her to be on. That zip code is linked to Memphis, Tennessee. It's linked to our people in Nigeria, in Africa, and they keep the list of all our judges and our poets, the Department of Communication, which is mainly the judges and the poets. Then we got 60644 zip code. That zip code is South Austin. It's led by um, Jerome Altman. Jerome Altman should be on, but I know he's not going to be on, but he should be on. That zip code is linked to St. Louis, Missouri. Is linked to Ivory Coast in Africa, and they keep the list of all our lawyers or any lawyers. They keep that list. Then the last one on the west side is 60651 zip code. That's linked to, or it's called West Humboldt Park. It's linked to Birmingham, Alabama. It's linked to Western Sahara in Africa. And for people who don't know, Western Sahara is where the most phosphates are in the world. And you need phosphates to grow food. So Western Sahara is very important. So don't blow them off because they got a small population. They are what God put in the ground there is needed for all of us. And they keep the list of all our chefs, all our chefs. All right. So Birmingham, Humboldt Park, 60651, and all the chefs. Then we roll over to the south side of Chicago, zip code 60609. That zip code is called the New City. neighborhood. That zip code is linked to Detroit, Michigan. Oh, we don't have a governor for there. Ken Atwood fills in for us. He's a pastor, but we need a governor for that zip code. They're linked to Detroit, Michigan. They're linked to Ethiopia in Africa, and they keep the list of all of our people in construction. So any plumbers, painters, electricians, that zip code keeps that list. Then we move over to 60620 zip code. That zip code is called Auburn Gresham. That zip code is linked to Norfolk, Virginia. It's linked to Egypt in Africa. And when we say Egypt, we talking about Black Egypt in Africa. They keep the list of all our veterinarians. So all our people that are veterinarians, they keep that list, and it's led by Jacqueline. She's also the Block Club leader too. She's not expected to be on today. 60621, we have that governor on with us right now. That zip code is called Inglewood. It's linked to New York City. It's linked to people in Sudan. And when we say Sudan, both North Sudan and South Sudan, we're not accepting the separation that they did for racial reasons. And we have that led by Pamela Dominguez. You still with me, Pamela?
I'm here.
Yay, so she passed the roll call. Then we got zip code 60, and they keep the list of all our technology people and engineers. So that's the zip code, the list they keep. 60629 zip code is called Marquette Park. It's called Chicago Lawn. It's called Gage Park. It is the largest zip code population-wise in the city. They have over 130,000 people in this one zip code. That zip code is led by Deborah Pryor, last name P, not expecting Deborah to be on. That zip code is linked to Washington, D.C. and Djibouti in Africa, and they keep the list of all our entrepreneurs, business people. 60636 is next door to them. That's called West Inglewood. That's linked to or led by Denise King, last name K, not expected to be on. That zip code is linked to San Diego, California. Is linked to Somalia in Africa. And we're not accepting Somaliland. It's only one Somalia. We're not letting the evil ones split that up like they're trying to do Sudan. And that zip code keep the list of all our farmers, people that produce the food that we need to consume. Then final one for the south side of 60652 zip code. That's the Ashburn neighborhood is linked to and is led by Brittany Corners. That's our leader. Brittany should be on, but I doubt if she's going to be on. I did text her. We'll see. But we'll give her the update. She'll be able to watch this as well. That zip code is linked to St. Paul, Minnesota. Is linked to Kenya in Africa, and they keep the list of all our elected officials. 60, that's it for the south side. Now we go over to the east side. I'm gonna speed up here because it's Pamela's time now. 60615 is led by Joe Merles. It's linked to New Orleans and Congo in Africa. They keep the list of all our travel agents. 60617 is led by Karen Barnes. She will be getting on today. That zip code keep the list of all our teachers. They're linked to Tanzania in Africa and Kansas City, Missouri. 60619 is Erica Dunn. She will be getting on. That zip code is linked to Philadelphia and to Angola in Africa. They keep the list of all our detectives. 60628 is led by Governor Charles Robinson. That zip code is linked to Dallas, Texas, and South Africa, and they keep the list of all our nurses. 60637 zip code is led by Everloy. Everloy is led by God dog, Claudette Reddick. Sorry about that. I'm at her event right now. Claudette Reddick. That zip code is Woodlawn, is linked to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and Zimbabwe in Africa. 60643, that is the Washington Heights community. We don't, Stephen Starks is the governor. We're not expecting him to be on. Last name S is linked to Cleveland, Ohio, and Botswana in Africa. 60649 on duty today. Rachel Lindsay is the leader. L, not expected to be on. They're linked to Miami, Florida, and Zambia in Africa. And finally, 60653 zip code is on. We don't have a governor there, but we got Amon Berry who's filling in. That zip code is linked to Gary, Indiana, and it's linked to Namibia in Africa, and they keep the list of all our clerical, administrative people, and book authors. That's our roll call. So we expecting about 4 people from leadership to be on, and we got other people in various other roles. All right, Governor, you still with me there?
I'm here.
All right. So if you don't mind, introduce yourself. Tell people what you want to see happen before you leave this earth.
Mm-hmm. Good afternoon. I'm Pamela Dominguez. As Cyron has said, I'm the governor of Inglewood, 60621. There's a lot of things I'd like to see before I leave this world, but I think I could wrap it all up and all of them up and say I would like to see us moving as one collective. Black people
Mm,
in America just being one, doing for one, helping one, sustaining one another. That is my wish, my desire.
that's that's a good summary. That's a great summary. So no, that's good stuff. And I think the key is for people to know kind of your network. As I said, the governors represent people who are not siloed in. A lot of our leaders, unfortunately, they push one agenda. The governors are open to pushing other people's agendas. So whenever you hear someone say that they're the governor, that means that they're not going to just push what they're doing. They're going to push what you're doing as well. That's one of the prerequisites of leaders in the governor ranks. They believe in helping what's going to be good for all of us as a people. So uh, give us the state of your zip code, what you're seeing right now west in Inglewood. Good, bad, indifferent.
Okay, right. Well, contrary to what we may have heard on the news, which they've never shown the good, we're doing pretty well, I think. We are growing. We're being overcome, I would take that to say that, though. Our communities are no longer, some blocks are predominantly Mexican now or Venezuelan. So we've had an influx with that nationality. And I don't know on any blocks whether they're actually in are supporting the people that were already there. I do know one block in particular they are, and that's on 60th and Elizabeth, where a person that I know who is also one of our members,
Is that
she
Miss
talks.
Pfizer?
Yes, it is, and she talks
Okay.
about her neighbors and how much they do for her, especially the ones right next door to her. I mean, they've really been a godsend. So sometimes we do have to look at the individuals, but we still want to see the connectiveness because Africans and Mexicans have had a long history, very long history that they're not aware of and we're not aware of. So I hope that we can maintain our communities as the Black community and do the things that we need to do for ourselves. Um, Ray's just had a big meeting. That's another organization in Inglewood. It was a largely attended meeting. That the news media was there because Save a Lot on Halsted and 63rd Street. Well, not Halsted, like about Emerald and 63rd is no Halsted and 63rd. I was correct.
Yeah,
In the
hosted. Yeah, hosted.
in the whole Whole Foods spot, uh, they're
Yeah.
they're being closed all over the city, and 63rd and Halsted is one of the targets. It was not welcome in the community in the first place. And the people wanted a different store other than Save a Lot, but Save a Lot prevailed. The city gave them money and they came. And so no, excuse me. Yes, they gave them money. But
Oh yeah.
they claim that the lack of when people lost a lot of when they took a lot of people off food stamps this year when that man did, uh, it caused the sales to go down. And I believe that because I know most of the people in England are not shopping there. The only time they really would go was when they got their links. But I've heard you had a question.
No, I was just gonna make a statement to that though. I want to make sure people know that we wanna do for self because that's our whole movement. And so when you say the community wanted it, or the community what we didn't do is pull our money together so we can have
Right.
our own. I know Ina Jones is working on that. We support her, but we need to have a black led, black controlled food option and not always asking government to save us.
Well, that's what was discussed to me. Senator Preston was there, and he brought that to the floor, but he said with state funding. But the residents that were there said, no, we want to roll and run it ourselves. And I'm going to keep Ina's name, about that as well. But I hear
Right.
that the 63rd Street store may get an 18-month reprieve, 18 months to stay open. We'll see. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
one of the things. I also want to say something I've been involved with, and wherever I go, I talk about what we're doing as well. But St. Bernard's has a organization within this hospital called Center for Better Aging. And Center
Mm,
for Better Aging has really been working with seniors, not just in Inglewood. They come from all over because outreach coordinator, he goes all over everywhere. His name is David Anderson, in case you haven't met him, Cyron. But they have lunch and learn gatherers. They have uh, other training type things. They come to churches and do exercises and talk about their program. So there's a lot. We have several farms in Inglewood. We have Grow Greater Inglewood, which is in the West Inglewood area, and they
mm-hmm.
are doing bountiful things. They have a farm as well as they sell on Thursdays and Saturdays. That I know of. They may do other days. Then we have one that's on the eastern end on 57th, I think, Lafayette, which is a large farm there as well.
Yep.
And
Now, do
then
you know, are those black led, or they led by other people?
well, I think the one on Lafayette is black led. I think these are black led. Barbara Pillows used to work at the one on 57th and Lafayette. Now, Grow Greater Inglewood, even though they had some white people in it, but it's black led. I'm trying to think. I can't think of.
Meaning they control the funding. Do you know that? Do they control the funding?
I don't know, but the one I'm getting ready to say next, great. No, that's Growing Homes on 59th and Wood. Grow Greater Inglewood is on 58th and Halsted, and they get their produce and stuff from local farmers. They're black led,
But that's
and
brother Anton Seals, right?
that's right. That's anti
Okay.
sales
All
from
right. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Grow
Okay.
Greater
Good.
Inglewood. So
Okay.
housing is coming slowly, but it's coming. So I think overall, the people that have been here have chose to stay and to get involved and make and help cause the change to happen. So whatever you all hear about Inglewood, it may be true, it may be not, especially the negative, because they always want to. We've had all these great things. Our alderman has a big event. Well, when she has an event, the media comes out. But too often, a lot of organizations, are doing a lot of blocks. You name some people, all the people that you named as governors are doing great things in their communities, and yet we can't get the media out one time for most of the things that we have going on. So,
Yeah, but deep down, we want to start using our black media. We got Governor Erica on here. She'll talk about our black media because
okay,
whenever we let Team Six know, we got to be weary on what comes after that. We got our own black media, and a lot of times Erica pay them, put money in the hands so she get to name them as one of 4 blacks, and we should be looking at that so we not
okay,
dependent on outside forces.
okay.
So excellent. Now, thank you. Please, the
You're well.
beauty is you covered your 5 minutes. You can stay on, or if you need to jump off, that's cool. I want everyone to know we won't bug you again for this until January next year. So this concludes your 2026 contribution to keeping the spindle spinning for us.
Okay, well,
but but
I'll be
stay
on a
on.
while. Okay.
Excellent, excellent. All right. We got Governor Erica. You there with us, Governor?
Peace,
You might
how
be on
you
mute.
doing?
There she
Oh,
is. That's it. Now, are you in America or are you in Brazil right now?
You funny. I'm here in America. I'm still grounded. Yeah. And hello to everyone. Like
hello.
I said, my name is Sister Erica. I'm the governor of 60619. And that is our what I would call our missing persons unit.
Mm,
Yeah.
That's where our detective hub,
Yes.
and we keep track of missing people. We put things over social media to bring awareness to what's going on in the communities, who's being kidnapped, who's missing, and SAC created a database where we can log these suspicious vehicles that's in our communities, these white vans with cages and dark windows and things
Right.
like that. So just to let you all know. because this sex trafficking is just it's crazy. It's at an all-time crazy. They're after us for our organs, for our melanin. They're giving transgenders our wombs. You know, they want our blood. You know, a black body is worth millions, sometimes billions of dollars.
Now,
So,
Governor, let me jump in real quick. I want to add credibility to what you're saying. Not that you need it, but just so people hear. Now, in the last 3 years, it's become more known to the public. But Erica been on this ever since I've known her. So we talking like 11 years. And so people thought she was crazy when she was talking about the body parts and what they were doing. Now the Epstein files are leaked, and people now starting to see that this is real. And melanin was worth more than gold last time I checked. And that you had to be dead to extract the melanin. That's natural for us. The darker you are, the more melanin. So please know that what she's saying has credibility. You can Google it yourself. Go ahead, Governor.
and
Sorry about that.
the Epstein files, Si, we can't hear you. It's like your phone is going in and out. But I would always put on social media that these people are vampires, that they drink blood and they're eating the children, you know. And people thought, like Si said, people thought I was crazy. But now it's coming out. It's coming out that this is exactly what they're doing. You know, they're actually killing the children. Um, you know, they're using them for sex slaves. They're using them they terrorize them to get their adrenaline going. And then they abstract their blood, which is called adrenochrome. And it's the youth serum for the rich and powerful. They drink these children's blood to stay youthful. So, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, but I just try and do my part to keep it at the forefront of everyone's mind so we can all stay safe. You know, a friend of mine, I'm gonna tell y'all this brief story. A friend of mine that I've been on for a long time, he just told me recently that someone snatched him. He said it was some white people in a van, and he said all he remember is fighting with them, and they hog tied him, and his neighbors found him wandering outside without no clothes on. And he had to go in the hospital. He was in there for 3 weeks. He said they blew some type of white powder in his face. And he said that was the last thing he remembered. He said he was fighting with them. They hog tied him, and then they blew some type of powder in his face. And he said that after that, he just don't remember what happened to him. And it's crazy. We grew up in Woodlawn together, right on 66 and Drexel. And he told me this, and I you know I'm trying to catch up with him, so maybe we can just do a live so we can, you know, on Monday, on a Monday, which is safety day. I would love to do
Yeah.
a live with him and let him tell his story, because people don't
Yeah.
think that this stuff is real,
Well,
you
not till
know.
it hit home. No, not till it hit home, you know. So,
Right.
but the Nolan Wells situation is waking up people because it's so in your face. It's the George Floyd of this year, you know, where it's right in your face that he went away with these guys and didn't come back. Like, you gonna play in our face?
Right, right. And
Okay.
I just seen another video with this sister jogging with this white guy. I guess
Yep.
she was dating
Oh,
him.
man.
And he says, this is the place where I'm going to kill you.
Yep.
And she just happened to be recording it. And he said, was you recording that? She said, yes. He said, oh, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. See, we have to wake up. We
Yep.
have to wake up because we put ourselves in dangerous positions. You know,
Unfortunately, yeah.
it's
Yeah.
and that's, you know, and so my zip code is connected to Philadelphia and Angola.
Yep.
And what I would like to see before I leave this earth is Black people in a state of independence, in our own land, running our own government and every aspect of our lives, just controlling everything about us. We're not under the control of no United States government or no other government. We're under God's laws and doing for self. That's what I want to see.
Universal. Universal law.
Amen.
I love it.
Amen.
We well, you was about to say something else. We got Patricia Cunningham, our mayor, on with us too.
Go ahead.
Okay. So Patricia, you can you come off of mute? I want to introduce you real quick, make sure people know, and we want to hear from you, get your thoughts.
I'm here.
All right. There you go. So everyone, this is she's family. She grew up with my mother-in-law, Patricia Cunningham. She is a do not mess with woman. She's the mayor of Village 3652, and she be on any elected official who's not doing right by her community. With that being said, tell us your name, zip code, and what you want to see happen before you leave this earth, Mayor.
Hello, everyone. My name is Patricia, as he said, and my zip code is 60636. And what I want to see in the future is us coming together as one, being more responsible for each other, and just communicating with one another. I think we lost that some kind of way. I'm very interested in making sure that, where I live is safe and where I live is beautiful. When I say beautiful, I mean, pleasing to the eye.
Right.
Everybody's definition of beautiful. I'm not talking about like beautiful palace and nothing like that. I mean, just the paper picked up and the blinds in your house, looking right, So
Yes.
I'm dealing with a lot on my block, and I'm the only one who uh protests or complains, I want to say. And sometimes I feel alone because it's like no one else cares, and it makes me feel like I want to move and go somewhere where I don't have to be bothered with this kind of stuff, but for right now I'm stuck, and I just try to make a change. I try to make the change be me. And a lot of times I went to Stephanie's meeting. I met the ward superintendent. He said, "Oh, you're Patricia Cunningham. Oh, I've heard about you." I said, "Oh, good. I'm glad you heard about me. I'm glad you know that I'm going to be calling in. I'm the eyes of the community." And so right now I'm working on the little mall that's on 67th and Ashland, where the
Mhm.
lottery is at. And then there's a house across from that place where the trees are so tall, giants could be seen. So I'm just saying, it's just could not
Well,
be seen. I'm
also,
sorry.
but we also did the gas station about 10 years ago, right there,
10
and
years
made them
ago.
with the signage. Yeah, the gas station on 67th and Ashland too.
Yeah, I was interested in why is it that you don't have a real sign up there? I mean, because you in the Black community, that means that you don't have to have a real sign. And he told me out of his mouth that he didn't have enough money to get a real sign. So at that time, I went to Tony Folks, and she was an alderman, and she made it happen. They had to put a sign up there, and as a matter of fact, they ended up changing the gas station altogether. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of things that I do, and I don't try to get recognition of it or anything like that. It pleases me. I called the landlord on who has the property on 67th and Ashland. I sent him a text. I have his number. I took a lot of pictures, trash, the greenery all messed up. I mean, it just looks terrible. And now my question is, how long does do you keep a vacancy in the property that you have? So is he gonna have that place vacant for the rest of his time while he making all his money off of us?
Mm.
That's the question. And
Well, I
another
think
question I have, I'm sorry.
now with that though, that we got to change the tax laws because a lot of times you get incentives for keeping a vacant storefront or property because you get to write off certain things. If you tweak the code and make it punitive, then they'll be rented out for cheaper just so that they don't pay the penalty on it. So that's kind of some tools we can put in the toolkit to see if that passes.
Yeah, because I'm interested. I want that to change. And another thing I wanted to say is, oh wow. When you stopped me, I
What
was on the road. But
prostitutes,
anyway, I thank you all for your
prostitutes.
time.
No, talk about the
Oh, the
prostitutes.
prostitutes. Oh, yeah. So we got prostitutes on 65th and Ashland at the post office. And, they just swarming. I call all the time. I call and say, yes. They say call 911. I say, hey, I'm calling. Did you all know it was a whole convention on 65th and Ashland? A whole convention. What, ma'am? What are you saying? Convention. It's a hoe. It's a bunch of hoes on 65th and Ashland. I mean, I try to be nice and say, hey, we got prostitutes. And when they told me that they have rights and it's nothing that they can do about it. So, the school is here, the residents here, it's not safe. They out doing the day, they blocking the pathways, they just destroying the look of the post office, and it's nothing being done about it. And I'm like, okay, who do I call next? I've already called the National Post Office Association. They sent someone out. Of course, when they came out, there were no holes. So, but now they're starting to come out during the day, and they walking up and down the street, and you see condoms and weave and eyelashes and all that kind of stuff everywhere you go.
Now,
So,
Marido, let's make sure the callers have full transparency. Back in the day, they were our women of the night. Now it's other ethnic groups' women of the night, right?
well, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, talk
And then
about
in
that. Talk about that.
cars, they parked all up and down the street, waiting on their turn. And I mean, it's just terrible. And I've spoken with I wrote letters to my alderman. The school works with me. They had to put up additional gates around the property because they were like all over the property, all in the playground, sleep, condoms everywhere. When the man come to work, he got to pick up condoms. It's and everybody that I talk to that's in office, they just let it slide.
So,
And so,
no, great report. No, great report.
Can I
Anyone
add
had any
this
questions?
to it?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I just had
Yes.
a brief comment about what you just said. One of Brandon Johnson's proteges, someone on his staff, when we had confronted them about this situation, she said that they're doing survival work. Now, when it was black women out there, it was prostitution and they go to jail. But now they call
Wow.
it survival work. Isn't that something?
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Wow.
terrible.
Now we got that in writing, or we got a video on that, Governor?
She even said it on the on the news. I found it. I found
Yeah,
it.
give me that. Yeah, we gotta hype that up. We gotta make sure that. So
Oh, wait, I got a
here's what.
question. I got a
Oh,
question
go
too,
ahead. Yep,
because
go ahead.
Patricia, you asked the question, but she didn't say, or I didn't hear. Who are these prostitutes? What ethnicity are they?
All Venezuelans. I've seen some young girls get out the car like they look like little kittens getting out the car going up there. And I was like, I was pulling up, and I was like, where they going? Because they know where they going to a party. That's what that's how they was dressed, like they was.
Okay.
And when I thought about it, I said, oh, they finna go, they hoeing. And then I said to them one time, I said, y'all gonna have to get off this corner. Something, I said something smart, whatever. And they said, we ain't going nowhere. I said, I'm gonna call the police. Call the police. They ain't gonna do nothing. And so I went right to the police station. I sat there and I seen two guys in the car. And I said, they're having a whole fest on 65th, 65th and Ashland. And he said, what, man? What did you say? And so I said, yeah. And I told them I was going to tell you all. And they said, y'all weren't going to do nothing. And so when I went back around, they were gone. But, the police that's not a concern. You know what I'm saying? They got so much other stuff that's a concern, but it should be a concern for our community because the school is there. They're there during the day. I mean, seniors, you can't get in the building. They standing all outside, and so they all on the preacher's property over across the street. They just everywhere. They
Well,
everywhere.
see, and my concern is and I hope you do find that video, because the law is the law. This survival work, as that's it's illegal for solicitation on the street. But the community is going to have to be the one. I
Yeah.
don't know. I may be the oldest one on this call, but the homeless men, white, homeless men used to be. You ever heard of Skid Row? It was down on Madison.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
downtown. Yeah.
from Halsted back west.
Mhm.
They got them out of sight because they were white. They put them. That's how they ended up under the what what is
Lower
that
whack.
down there? Yeah, Lower Wacker. So we as a community have to speak up. Where it's not a concern to the police or to the mayor, the people have to speak up about it because that is
And
probably like you said.
I really want to call the media out, but I don't want to be interviewed because I get nervous when I talk and speak in front of people and I'll be stuttering and I don't know. But
Well,
So,
that would
so
be interesting.
let's do this. So our audience watching from anywhere around the world, the solution is what Pamela said. The solution is that our mayor isn't out there by herself being a target. We need
Right.
block by block. We need our
Yes.
people in the village to agree that we're going to
Yes.
stand on one message and say we won't tolerate this. Because the issue is they chose that location. You choose the path of least resistance. If she's the
Right.
only one resisting, that's why they're there.
Right.
So you're gonna move it away. They're not gonna stop selling themselves, but they go move it to a less combative place. And so that's the real remedy. Her zip code is linked to San Diego. So ideally, I have troops here from San Diego. They'll be out there filming 24/7. They'll be putting it on YouTube, and they don't want that type of energy. So they will move where there's least resistance. So I'm gonna go
Right.
back to the bigger pictures. We gotta have our people that's doing for self. So this not calling the police. This us putting every license plate that pull up to get services on blast, looking them
Right.
up, putting it on live. But we got to make sure it's out of town people. So retaliation, they won't be able to get to San Diego to retaliate. So I just
and
wanted to
that's
put
my
that out there.
thing too. They see my car, I come by there like that night. I just was like, no, y'all ain't over here again. And so
No, I
what I
get it.
said, but they know my car. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
they'll mess with my car
We're
and me.
aware of what the solution is always us doing for self, but we got to be smart so we don't become a target. And that's why the beauty is us being national so we can bring in the people who can do certain things and then disappear and they don't know where they at.
Right. Amen.
All right. All right. Same thing, Patricia, Erica, thank y'all for y'all service. Based on y'all last name, y'all know we won't bug you again for 6 months. And we talking about January next year. So if y'all got to get off, that's fine. It's recorded, it's documented, and you feel free to stay on. But I appreciate y'all.
Okay, I'm signing off. I'm getting ready to do something else. I thank you so much.
It's all beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for that update. We call it spending the spindle, you guys. I was hoping I would have had the flyer ready, but I got an older flyer, but I want to make sure the people watching would know what just took place when you just heard from our first group of leaders and what they spoke about. Let me see if it comes up here. It isn't the ideal flyer, but I can explain it to you guys so y'all know what our leaders just did. And Darlena Battle just got on, so let's hear from Darlena, and then I'm gonna switch over and show you guys a flyer. So Darlena, thank you for carving out time. I know you're working right now. Darlena is our leader for the fourth Wednesday of the month calls. So she deals with our Black businesses, making sure that we can name our four. And so if you don't mind, what's your name, your zip code, and what you want to see happen, Darlena, before you leave this earth?
My name is Darlena Battle. My zip code is 60617. And I would like to see unity amongst our Black community. They're pushing so much separation from the elders, from the younger, from all the generations, that we need to get back to a generation where everybody were together.
No doubt.
It's too much separation, and we as a people, we can do great things, but it's hidden agendas, and some agendas are at the forefront. We see it, but it's so many people nervous or scared to even say something or come together. We need to come together. We need to go ahead and state our dominance in this, not only this city, but just state our dominance as a people, because we're not a minority. Let's get it right now.
Darlene, you know the unity piece. I always tell people we want to coordinate together because just like what you're doing, you jumping on while you're working, but your contribution is gonna be heard from now on because it's gonna be recorded and it's on YouTube forever. So you ain't gotta stand here in unity with us. You came on, done your part, but you contributed, and it's gonna resonate with somebody, and that's the benefit of everyone doing their small part in coordination. What
Yeah.
do you think about that?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And like I like to help other people, or just come together with other people. If I can't be there, then I'll try and at least send my blessings there, or try to assist any way I can. Do you need me to do this or do that? Just to be a part. Right now I'm all the way out west. I stay out east. So yeah. So
And tell them what your business is. Tell them what you sell, what you do, so they'll know you're a Black entrepreneur.
Well, me, honestly, Si, I have multiple business ventures. Right now, I am selling my handmade products, lean beans, assortments, and things. I make handbags, t-shirts, key rings, key fobs. I make a majority of items, but I am also a licensed insurance agent. I also do Mary Kay. So I have a lot of different business ventures. I'm also going to culinary school to be a pastry chef, which I'm almost done with that. I have to do an externship, but I'm just trying to do something, keep myself occupied, but also to have funds to put into different communities, not just my
Now, now,
community, but communities.
now let me add this so people watching would know this, because some people may say, well, I already got this. I already got this person. So based on your zip code, this is where we're saying her zip code has 87,000 people in her zip code. So that's 87,000 potential people buying Black, naming they four. So as she named about 4 different ventures, any one of those, ideally, the people from her zip code would support and put finances behind whatever it is she's offering. And if we do that, now we're not competing against each other. So your person that's culinary arts on the west side, we got the west side ones. But we're not saying people got to do it that way. We're just saying there's no competition with our 20 zip codes unless it's 21 people doing the exact same thing. All right.
Yeah.
Anything coming up you want to tell us about?
No, just every Saturday I am here at 5555 West North Avenue. This young lady just started her. Well, I think she had it before, but she's
Uh-oh, you went out.
yeah. And then you can't hear me.
No, you went out. You said 5555 West. That when it went out.
North Avenue, 5555 West North Avenue. And then also on Sundays I pop up at local market foods off 2101 East 71st Street. So I'm always buying Black and pushing the products and trying to support other vendors too. It's just not about me making money, but it's about me supporting people with like-minded
Excellent.
like-minded
Excellent.
people.
All right. Well, that's a good update. Anybody got any questions for Darlena Battle?
Yes, good report. Just question, when you said you're at North Avenue, you're vending on that day?
Yes, on Saturdays from 12 to 5, we're here bending.
Okay. And what about Sundays? I went there several years when they first opened up and they started having vendors. I went over there a couple, but I haven't been in a couple of years. What time
At,
you been on Sundays?
at local market foods is
Yeah.
from 11 to 4 p.m.
Oh, okay.
And it's
Maybe
all
after. Okay. Thank you.
yeah, they're there Saturdays also.
Okay. All right.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Good. Good. So, Darlena, thank you for your contribution. We won't bug you again until January. If you got to get off, feel free to, but we're going to keep going.
Okay, thank you, Si. You all have
All
a
right.
blessed.
Appreciate you.
Oh, no
Yeah.
problem.
And Darlena is faithful. Like everybody on this call, these are the people that put their money where their mouth is, and that's what I love about when people do the layups. Like this dollar a month should be a layup, y'all. And then the fact that it's not lets us know the work we got to do mentally and spiritually to get our people to do it. And so Darlena, she did her 7 daily living habits with her picture on it. She does her dollar every single month. She's telling other people to do it. So that's what we want to see people promote this and promote the 7 daily living habits so people know why. So with that in mind, let's move with the Mississippi report. Shabilla Adams is our superstar down there in Mississippi. She's a school teacher in Natchez, Mississippi. She has her own tourism. So if you guys going down to Natchez, Mississippi, she and her family historically, even during slavery times, they trace their lineage all the way back to Africa. So they come back and forth from Africa. But she has her own tourism business down there, and people be supporting it. And we just want to overwhelm them with more support. So Shabilla Adams, that's her name. But the update with rural America, Mississippi is our most important state because of how black it is. It's the blackest state in America for us. It's also the weakest white state population wise when it comes to black people. They're at about 55%. And you got places like Wyoming where they're 93%. So it lets you know how weak it is in Mississippi compared to a Wyoming or Vermont or West Virginia, where it's almost 9 out of 10 people are white. And the reason why that's significant, and people say, well, why you bring that up? So why do we have 7 states 90% white? Why, so we can't be happy that we got one state almost 40% black, but you happy with all these states being 9 out of 10 people white? So it does matter because every state has 2 senators. So it's guaranteed that these 7 states going to have 14 white senators because 9 out of 10 people are white. And the Senate is who makes all the laws. It's the U.S. Senate that's more powerful than the president. And so I want to make sure you knew why we need to pour into Mississippi is because we almost got 4 out of 10 people that are us. With that in mind, a lot of people
Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Hold on one second, y'all. Hold on one second.
No. You're muted. You're muted. Still muted.
Were you talking to me?
No, I'm talking to Cy. Can't hear him.
Okay.
Now
Yeah.
you
All
are.
right. Yeah.
There
Sorry
you go.
about that. Yeah. Joe get ready to walk down now. So that's why Mississippi is so important, you guys, because of how black it is and our people down there. And I hope they're not offended by me saying this, but when you got to live around your opposition, you can't say and do certain things as you could like us, who's 600 miles away. So our people in Mississippi need backup so they can stick their chest out even more so. What do y'all think about that?
Yes,
I
for
think
sure.
this Nolan Wales situation is gonna allow us to. We've already passed a few tests. Our black elite, people with money, pull money together to say we're gonna not let this die down. I think that was great. And I think now with this attention on them, they're not gonna be able to sweep it under the rug, which is perfect. And I think now with the vision that we got with Mississippi, more people go pay attention to it. What do you guys think?
I hope they do. And I think we just have to, just what you just said, those stats that you're giving about the white, those 7 white states versus we only have 1 with the majority blacks, and how important that is. We've got to share that information with others so they can grasp the significance of Mississippi. Anybody there?
I'm still here. I don't know. Sign having
You got real quiet, didn't it?
yeah, it did. I think he's having connection issues.
He said it might be he's outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's in a car.
Right.
It could be that outside.
Right. Well, we got like 4 minutes left on the summit, so.
Erica, while we're waiting, he mentioned something about you, the black media. Who is the black media?
Martin Johnson, Crime Chaser, and then we have
Okay.
another
I've heard of
brother,
him.
called it Chi-Town Crime Chaser.
It's a
Yeah,
different one. It's another one.
yeah, it's 2 different guys.
Okay, what's the Chi-Town? Who is that?
I can't remember his name. Martin is my man. That's who I always go to. Yeah.
Okay.
But if you want to connect with him, I can give you his number. You could call him if you need him to come out for something.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Let me get it and I'm gonna text
Okay.
it. Hold on 1 second.
Are you gonna text it to me or put it in the chat?
I can send it directly to you in the chat. Unless you want to just give me your phone number and then I can text it to
I'll
you.
give you my phone number. You ready?
Okay.
Seven. Oh, that's right. I forgot
Hello,
about that.
Yeah, see, that's
I
what I'm
forgot.
saying.
I
I'm
forgot.
gonna send it to
You
you.
sure did. You sure did.
I'm glad you
Um,
did it. Right. I'm gonna send it to you in a direct chat, a direct message on the chat. I'm sending it to Pamela, right?
yes.
Okay. Hmm. It don't look like it's gonna let me send it.
I tell you
Oh
what, send it to Sarai and ask him to
no, I
uh
got you. I got you.
oh, okay.
I got you.
Okay. All right, y'all. Sorry about that. Governor, come back. Let y'all see. Listen, the governor right here, y'all. Governor Joe.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Governor Joe.
Hello,
Hello,
What's
hello.
going on, ladies? How y'all doing?
Good.
Joe. What's up?
What's up?
So now, y'all, that was why I went on silent. I had to break the table and chair out, so we could finish what we got to do. What was discussed while I was out, y'all? Y'all had some. What was we hadn't talked about?
We were talking about the black media. I was getting
Right.
ready to send her Martin's phone number.
Exactly. We got Martin and who the other one? We got like 3-4 guys that got a good
Yeah.
following. One on Feed People. What's his name?
Yeah, I was telling her about the other one. I can't think of names right now though. But Martin is my go-to guy, so
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
mm.
But I was saying with Mississippi, did y'all give any thoughts on why Mississippi is so important to us? What was y'all thoughts on that?
You didn't hear what I said?
Uh-uh.
Well, now I gotta repeat it. No, I just said we just have to share with others just what you shared with us. The significance of being the only state with the majority black and how those 7 states are predominantly white and how that way sways when it comes to our having legislation on our behalf. We just have to
Big time.
spread the word.
Big time. And people need to know this. The 100 senators dictate what the president do. Like they can override any presidential, what he's doing, any veto. So if 14 senators are guaranteed to be white, that's 14%. We only got 3 black senators out of all 100, and one of them a Republican, the other 2 are Democrat. So they can't even have a caucus. It ain't enough people. You know what I mean? It's 3 people. What they call that?
Right.
They ain't a couple. 2 people is a couple. What's 3 people? so they too small to put any black agenda forward because there's only 3 of them, and 2 of them is in the same party. So
Okay.
we ideally Mississippi should be our protected state. It should be, Alabama is on the east, Louisiana is on the west, Arkansas on the west, Memphis and Tennessee is up top, and we don't have to protect the South because that's the water. It should be where our people, we sending troops down there to protect the border, y'all. It should be black men primarily going to protect the borders on them edges, and that should be our sanctuary. We should be able to send our brothers coming out of jail down there, free housing, food. They can grow everything down there, get themselves stabilized, and then they can come back out to the rest of the population. What was that cartoon? You can't handle the city life. We're gonna send you down there for a little bit, but that's what we need, a sanctuary state, y'all.
Yes,
What do y'all think about that?
we
I
do.
agree. Yeah,
But actually, Governor Erica, y'all already doing it. The Nation of Islam. Tell them about that piece. She got this dog.
yeah, we about 150 of us got together and we purchased a piece of land in Georgia. It's like 467 acres. And we're now in our building phase. We're building, we have farm animals out there, goats and chickens and roosters and yeah, so it's a slow process, but we're starting it. And We're planting fruit trees, which we may not ever be able to eat a piece of fruit off of it, but
Uh-oh.
our future generations will. They'll eat off those trees. So we're
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah, and that's the whole do for self mentality, and that's what we need. And if we get our churches to back that up in Mississippi, the nation is doing it in Georgia because the South is where majority blacks are anyway. So it shouldn't just be Mississippi, but that's the one we should start with. But we need to be strong in Georgia and Tennessee, you know what I mean, and Florida. So yeah, that's kind of the rural report. And for those who never heard of Bucksport, South Carolina, that's our headquarters for all our new contact personnel that we meet. And so we're going to keep building them up. They're 97% black. We got our superstar. She got a corner store there. We buy corner store products from her and tell her to give them away just so she get the money. So just know that that's how we want to do, making sure black dollars are going to our black superstars. Yeah, we got to support her.
Where did you say she is?
Bucksport, Buck, and then Sport, South Carolina, right by Myrtle Beach, y'all. And y'all know Myrtle Beach is the bomb, but yeah. So I eventually, as we blow up, we want to help our people get the travel going down there to see Bucksport and go right across the way to Myrtle Beach. Beautiful. It's the Vegas with the ocean.
Okay.
Excellent. All right. So unless y'all got anything else for the suburb from the rule, we're going on over to, unfortunately, the violence. All right. So June 30th is always our deadline every year, y'all. And the reason for that, January 1st to June 30th represents the opportunity to recruit our people, train them, and then pass the test by June 30th. Every Memorial Day and 4th of July, we lose the most black people to violence. And it's historic. And we've been doing this 30 years. It's been the case. And so after June 30th, it's too late for us to have our forces in position, trained and ready to affect the 4th of July weekend. And so we know by June 30th every year if we're going to be effective or not. And we failed every year. We've never been able to get 1,000 people to pull their dollar together, which is the first step. And if we can't get to the first step, you can forget about the bigger steps because we haven't gotten to the first step. So this Tuesday, June 30th, we didn't meet that goal. So I want to introduce to everyone what happens after June 30th if we don't reach the 1,000 people, $1 goal. It's called merry-go-round anti-violence programming, merry-go-round. And it's just like it says, you go around, keep going around. What that means is we have now, because we've been doing this for a long time, we have now funding going to organizations to go out and talk to people and be in their life. And that stuff is good. That's cool. But please know we're going around. It's nothing new. Back in the day, our brothers used to talk to the brothers about respecting the women. In Cabrini Green, they used to whistle before they started shooting. That's how much respect was there. But now we got to get paid to do it. And that's a problem. We shouldn't get a salary to tell our women and children, all right, it's time to, go high because it's getting ready to go down. So we know it's been done before where we didn't have to get paid. Now, unfortunately, with this funding, people, if you ain't getting paid, they may not talk to the young brothers out there. So what we want to do is make sure our people know the merry-go-round is just that. You ain't going nowhere. You're just going around in circles. The real solution is habits, schedule, and network. HSN, not home shopping network, habits, schedule, network. What habits are we instilling in them? So if I go out there as an anti-violence worker, I'm saying, hey, brother, don't do that, man. Put the gun down. All right, uncle. As soon as you walk away, they right back at it. I haven't said, hey, man, I see your stomach, man. How about Thursday, man? I work with you so we can get that down. Hey, man, I noticed, man, that you're honoring your grandmama, man. How about Friday? I go with you so we can cut our grass for free. The point is habits. We got to do something so many times that they ain't even think about it. It's second nature. So that's something that anti-violence workers in Boston, Detroit, they don't have the habits. So they just going out counseling. And we know, the words matter, but just know actions matter even more. So I wanted to just make sure our people knew HSN, Habits, Schedule, Network. Schedule, how we use time. So y'all know us. We got time for everything. Friday, Senior Day, Saturday, Youth Day, today, the summit. We got time for all 86,400 seconds. So we got to give them something to do with their time, because a lot of times when you get through counseling, then they going back to a schedule of hanging out. We know spiritually that's the devil's workshop. So we tell them to put the guns down and they go right back to the devil's workshop. And so we got to know that. And so with us, hey man, you a carpenter? Hey man, third Monday the carpenters getting together. I need you to plug in with them. So that takes up their schedule time. Then the last one is the network. That's the most important one. I say it this way. We had a person, I won't say her name right now, but she was homeless. She couldn't find a shelter in Indianapolis or in Gary. She called Chicago. They said, we got something for you. She came to Chicago. God put her between two zip codes with our super governors between both zip codes, and she right there in the middle. And she didn't tell me. I texted. I said, where you at? She said, I'm in the shelter. I said, what shelter? You where at? Because if you up north, that's a problem for us. She in the heart of our two, and they women too. So, you know, women love differently. So I told her, you finna have some love that I know you've been through some stuff in Indianapolis and Gary. These are people who ain't gonna take advantage of you. I bet my life on it. And got them connected. Beautiful. I told her to take pictures. They go wrap their love around her and instill the trust that she can, because she's still with us, but she just in this bad situation right now. But the point is your network, HSN, habits, schedule, and then who can you pick up the phone and call. Once we knew what she was at, we was able to pick up the phone and get a conference call. And I gave what I ideally would see. And I made sure she heard, the governors heard me say to her, don't you dare be shy. I'm telling you right now, these two people, I bet you they ain't gonna hurt you. And so that's what the network does. These brothers out here shooting and doing this stuff, they need to have in their Rolodex, in their phone, people that they can call who not gonna take advantage of them. That's the beauty of us having the zip codes covered with governors. So anyway, going back to the deadline, then we got Governor Karen on. So HSN, and the reason June 30th is so important is because when you go from January to June 30th, you going through the hibernation season where people are in the house because of weather. They can't wait to pop out. And once pop out season comes, now they too busy. You got 300 events every summer. It's 12 weeks of summer. You got 300 events. Everyone got an event. This is happening. And so you don't have their attention. You got to get them in January after the credit card bills come from Christmas spending. You got to get them during that season where they in the house. And that's when we recruit the strongest, because you can make the calls and get people together. Then we got to train them. That's the spring season of training. So they'll know what HSN is. They'll know what the habits is. They'll know how to respond to someone saying that ain't gonna do nothing. And then the testing comes. Memorial Day is the first test every year. Every year we lose Black people to violence Memorial Day weekend. So we got hibernation season in the winter. That's when we recruit. It go from recruiting to training, from training to testing. And after testing, we go to review. So we'll be going through the review season in October 1st. And the review is we look at what we did the other 9 months of the year, what worked, what didn't work, what failed, what blocks we didn't go to that we know we needed to. That's what happens during October to December. This is every year, you guys. Every year. We got it down to a science. And again, if we can't get 4 groups of 250 people to believe financially, that means we're not ready. That means we're not ready. So we try again next January 1st and run it to Memorial Day weekend. And I think every year we get closer. So with that in mind, that's when we look at the violence, that's what needs to happen. Anyone doing anti-violence work throughout America, I salute you. But please know, structurally, it's not designed for you to be successful. That's the message. So our superstar brothers who put their life on the line going out there, you're being set up to fail. And what we want to do, block by block, is set you up so that you can be what God made you for. I don't believe God made you to be an anti-violence worker. I believe God gave you something, whether it's in the trades, construction, whether it's in technology, whether it's in engineering, and we want to help you start your own, whatever it is God gave you, so that you can take your talents and gifts and help the young men that way. Because the problem with the way they got it set up now, the next political party can pull that funding, and then you back at square one. You don't have a pension, you don't have a retirement. You kind of wasted your years talking to the brothers, what you go do anyway. But we should have had you on the pathway of running your own business. And while all of our anti-violence workers are out there working, talking, responding, They're not getting a pension and not building their retirement. They at the whim of the political people to cut funding. And the worst part to me is while you're out there doing social work, we got non-black people in our neighborhoods taking black dollars out. And those black dollars could be used to put your business in action. So I think it's the okie doke. And it's not a knock on you guys, it's a knock on the political system. So with that in mind, we got Governor Karen Barnes. What's up, Governor?
Hey, Brother Sai, everybody.
Yeah, if you don't mind, your name, zip code, what you want to see happen before you leave this earth.
I'm Karen. I live in zip code 60617. Before I leave this earth, I would like for us to be more like something that I saw today, where we're helping each other, we're showing each other how to build up from the start, feeding into each other. I'm not going to say unity, but I'm going to say a word that's very similar, where we connected. Well, right now we're disconnected. We're in factions, but really we the same people. We really are brothers. So if we could work like brothers, I would love to see that. And for me personally, I always hear people saying, I'm going to Europe, I'm going to Ireland.
Right.
I want to see Africa, which I haven't been. But when I see Africa, I also want a piece of that land to be mine, because that is to my inheritance. I know I'm of African descent also. And
That's right.
when my ancestors were there, a piece of that land was ours.
Yeah. No, that's powerful. And it's we go do that. That's gonna be, like I say, I want it happening where you traveling back and forth as if it's not a big deal. I'm in Tanzania tomorrow, then I'm gonna be in Ethiopia. Like that's the future I think we gonna have. So with that in mind, on the education front, I know Governor Charles was gonna get on here. I sent him the link. I hope he got it. But Governor Barnes' role is all the teachers in Chicago, you guys. She keeps the list. Her zip code keeps the list. And so the teachers matter. Every profession, you get your start with the teachers. So the teacher lives matter. But what's unfortunate on the education side, you guys, when we talk about our teachers, especially black teachers, y'all, they struggle during these months. They financially struggle during these months. The months that they're not teaching, a lot of them are doing Lyft and Uber to make money during the months that they're out. And then when schools start, they behind on their bills 3 and 4 months. And so I'm a big advocate that, and based on the zip code, we should have our own layers of support for our teachers in particular, because we know they're seasonal. And I get it. We got the people who say they need to say, I get all that. But guess what? You're not perfect either. You can fall on hard times too. So that's what we want to prepare for. If there's somebody taking advantage, we'll figure that out. But what's your thoughts on that, Karen?
Yeah, Brother, so I think that's beautiful. You know, another thing we could set up eventually, and not today, but for the teachers where they have the whole summer off, they should also, if they could feed into the people and get paid for that. I mean, not like 9 to 5, because you went into teaching expecting to have those months off. So not the whole daily routine of working again, but people don't need to be in school all day to get that information that's in your head if you go specific. And right now, I think we're at a time where we could do specific minded teaching. Now, a funny thing happened today. I missed Rainbow Push, and I like to go there, but I watched it on TV. And the City Colleges of Chicago, Olive Harvey gave away 2 full ride scholarships for whoever was in that audience. And the Truman College turned around and gave away 2 full ride scholarships for whoever was in that audience. But what that said to me is, get connected to these organizations that are tried and true and trying to help Black people come up. So had any of us been at Rainbow Push, there were those 4 scholarships. Somebody could have just gotten that day. But not only that, we have all kind of organizations that we could feed into every way that you can think of to support Black people, helping Black people. Let's do it.
Now, let me back you up on this, because I'm guilty of this too. So when you hear Urban League, NAACP, Rainbow Push, all of these entities, we're quick because the need is so enormous to say they ain't doing nothing. We very quick to say that, and in some cases it may be true for your situation. But this month, my daughter, 14-year-old, the youngest one, she's 15 now, she competed in the NAACP ACTSO, ACTSO award competition. The AXO Awards and NAACP gets a lot of negative flack for the image awards, and some rightfully so. You got people on the stage saying, "Eat my blank and blank," you know what I mean? So they when you mess up, we got to hold you accountable for that. We can't be putting foolishness out there and giving it awards. You know what I mean? So, but the NAACP image awards with all the rappers and all that negativity, they also got gospel and things of that nature. But what's unknown, and the Vernon Jarrett started it here in Chicago, is the awards for nerds, if you will. And I'm saying that, but they're not calling it that. I'm just summing it up so you'll know. It's the award for biology, the award for chemistry, the award for culinary arts, the award for filmmaking. So it's every subject out there. And these are our Black youth from all over 50 states coming to a convention, and they spend 5 days and they recognize who's the best, and they get presented awards on the stage with performances. This year, it was in Chi-Town, y'all. It was at Chi-Town. They had all these young people, 13, 14 years old, first time in hotels, first time away from their mom and dad. It was brilliant. It was beautiful to see. And I told the young people, my first trip out of town with the school was to Louisville, Kentucky. I remember that, and I'm 51 years old. So the point is, on the education side, this was life-changing for them. And I told them that you can't recognize it now. I'm telling you now. It's changing your life whether you realize it or not, because you're meeting your peers from all over. What do you think about that? Yeah.
That's so cool, because a lot of times people think they're isolated, but you might be isolated in your block or your neighborhood or maybe in your school, but there are other people on your same level. You just need to get connected to them. So that's good.
Yes. That's good. And the fact that the NAACP hit 150 years. Was it 150 years? No, 117 years, 149. It's one of them. It's so many numbers going around, but it's over a century that they've been around. And this AXO hit 50 years that they've been doing it. And so what people would say is, if the NAACP didn't do nothing for 100 years, the last 50 years, this here Nerd Award is the bomb. And it's something that we should be promoting block by block. People should be seeing the winners. And it's life changing, because this is what the so-called thugs need to see.
Yeah.
They need to see. And if they male, they want to see the females from out of town. If the females, then they want to see the males. That's why we believe in travel so much, because we think that's the missing link. And it was beautiful that they did it. And right after they did it, Ben Crump and them came the next day and did the autopsy reveal. So they popping down there on 22nd in Indiana, Michigan. Is going on with Black strength out there. So
on the opposite side of that, Brother Si, I would like to say this too. And it's funny, I'm sitting right here because I have this book. When I was in elementary school, my school taught out of this book. I don't know if you all can see it.
Let me see it. I can't see it. Let me see it.
It won't show up. Great.
Oh, really? Really?
I got that book here in the house.
Oh, we got Evan Credit. He said he got the book already.
Yeah, I had school curriculum. It was the teachers who went a little bit extra mile and petitioned the principal, go a little bit extra mile. We Black people. The administration is not trying to make things work for us. We supposed to work for us. Yes, you're teaching to the test because that gets you the money and all that, but it's other things you and this right here, Great Negroes Past and Present, it's an old book because I'm old. And I was in elementary school when they taught it, but we need that kind of foundation. People need foundation, because some people are exceptional. And I met your daughter, Brother Si. She's exceptional. Everybody's not exceptional. And there's a room for everybody. We don't need to lose any.
Right.
Find a place for all of our brothers and sisters. And they can learn things like trades, little things. You know, I was looking today, and Olive Harvey has classes you can learn in 1 year, get a certificate, and get a job. That's the kind of thing we need to think about. Everybody is not going to be the college material. Everybody's not going to have the patience to go and be a doctor or a lawyer, but you can be an EMT specialist. You can be that the bottom is you can do things.
Yes.
There are things that you
Yes.
you can be that
And
forklift driver.
that's right. That's right. And they had literally, these are 9th through 12th graders. They had some boys there for math. Man, I listen. Are you smarter than the 5th grader? I ain't nowhere near these. I shook their hand. I said, man, you run circles around me, and it's good. You want the younger generation to be better than you,
Yes.
smarter than you,
Yes.
and I ain't ashamed of that. And I told them, you a genius when it comes to this math. I'm not nowhere near you.
Thing. They deserve the recognition.
That's right.
Nationwide organization recognizing them. Yeah.
Yes. Now, ideally though, because they went to DuSable, they was in Chi-Town. They went to Obama Museum. Like they in the city that's popping. It's going on everywhere. So them children went to the top of Sears Tower. Some went John Hancock. They had so much to do in their 5 days, and they raised the money to do it. So New Orleans was the biggest representative. They had probably 30 children there. They was there strong as heck. Georgia was there strong. Chicago, I was disappointed. I got to find out, Evan. I'm glad Evan is on. Let's bring Evan up. Evan, come to the front of the classroom, man. What happened with Chicago, man?
I have no idea. To be honest with you, I don't. I'm gonna check with Rose, who's the Southside president, and I'm gonna check with folk on the West Side to see what happened. Because being the whole city, we should have,
Come on.
represented.
I almost put my Chicago hat up, man, because the New Orleans out, they was cheering. I'm like, man, where's Chicago at, man? I ain't gonna say nothing then. I ain't gonna be the only one rooting. What's up?
But also, I gotta, because I'm also when I do my background due diligence, I'm gonna ask how they plan this, because it's a national, it's a national show, but you would think that they will hook in with the local chapters, especially Chicago, since the NAACP was founded here.
But wait a minute, it was some Chicago people there. The question is why it wasn't more.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, okay, because in this area in Chicago, you have the South Side chapter, you have a West Side chapter, you have a North Side chapter, and you have a South Suburban chapter, NAACP.
Right.
So my question is going to be, first of all, how they did it, how did the national go about doing it, but did they link in with those chapters, and how active were those chapters, how active a role did they play and help planning it? Since your home turf, nobody knows your home turf better than you do.
Yeah, I want to hear the answer to that too, because I said I'm gonna do better. The NAACP won me over with I call it the nerd competition, because I think we got to make nerd cool so we can get away from this gangster stuff. So the fact that they're doing that takes away every argument on the block of they ain't doing nothing. Because if you didn't know about the nerd competition, then you need to be made aware, and then we need to support it. We need to make sure that the children had the money to go wherever they're doing it at next year, wherever city they're going to, because that's good for young people to be traveling and meeting other peers, All right. With that in mind, Evan, man, your name, your zip code, what you want to see happen before you leave this earth, man?
Oh, man. I started to say just black folks. I think got some sense. Black folks, we say black folks think more. We need to, or my zip code is 60628. But we need to start sitting there thinking of things less emotional and more cerebral. And
meaning what? Break that down. You went high intellect.
Okay, because right now, if you're taking notice of what's happening in the city, and there's going to be, right now there's a lot of boarded up stuff on the south, especially on the southeast side. With the Obama Center, there's going to be a chances for economic growth, and we need to be, a little more cerebral in terms of everything, economics, politics, the whole nine, of how we approach things. Because we take ourselves out the game being, a lot of times, being emotional. And I'll give an example. The last presidential campaign, perfect example. You got a sister running who, okay, she got no control over her parentage. Okay, her father, who's the Black Jamaican, fell in love with an Indian woman. They fell in love with her. She had no control over that. But then you got the craziness, she ain't Black. Then you got I don't like her laugh. I don't like this. 90 million people stay home in last election. And that's no 90 million people, 77 million people voted for what we got. 90 million people stay home. So you have 167 million people who directly or indirectly got us into this mess. And a lot of those who did not vote didn't vote for crazy reasons. I don't like the candidate. I don't like that. What I say, being more cerebral, politics is about doling out resources. So you can't sit there and not participate, and then you don't get the resources that.
But you going into the government part, we was on education, you went to the government part, so we can stay there.
But I can go back. I can go back into that. I can go into the education part too. And this has come up in some like NAACP education meeting, okay? Because you have, the projects have been torn down, so a lot of those people have been dispersed. You don't have as many students in the system as you did at one time.
Right.
So the question is, what do you do with these schools that are sitting here with right. That are half full or whatever? So you got to be, let's say, cerebral. Because one of the things we're looking at is taking like some of the schools and consolidating them and say making them elementary school. And then you have let's say like less high schools. So just an example. So in my area where I live, I got Julian, Harlan. Oh, because I hate doing it that way.
Those high schools.
Yeah, okay, hold on. Let me. You have John Marshall Harlan High School, because we get into these things where we just do the last name of the high school and forget who the school is named after. John Marshall Harlan High School, Percy Levon Junior High School. I forget who the first name of Finger is. Finger High School, and you got George Henry Corliss High School. Okay. Right now, all four of those schools are underutilized. You got maybe about 150, 200 students in Harlan.
That's it? Wait, 200 students in a whole high school?
Yeah. Same
That's
thing.
That's dangerous.
I know. Same thing at Finger. Okay, Julian has like.
And it used to be what, 1,200?
Finger used to be bursting out the seams. Remember, those that went that remember, Finger had if you was a freshman, you went to Curtis. That was Curtis Finger, and then you had Finger. So you was a freshman.
But give our audience a scale though. How many people at the peak was in there?
Finger, you can put at least 2,000 people in Finger.
Okay.
Julian,
all right. Yeah.
When Julian opened in 75, and I graduated in 79, we had 20. Julian was built for 2,000. We had close to 2,900 students in Julian. Okay. Harlan was built for about 1,200. You had about 1,600 to 2,000, about 1,500, 1,600 in Harlan. Corliss is built for 2,000. Corliss was pretty over, was at the seams too.
But that was during the Great Migration. I mean, that's when our people were still here. We was 1.3 million people back then.
Yeah, we talk like 70s and 80s. Right. So now, like I said, but you also didn't have charter schools back there.
Mm.
And that's the thing that, because when this comes up, I'm saying, like, I'm telling you, I'm at the table, I'm like, you guys are talking about, consolidating public schools, okay, but you got charter schools that are in walking distance. You got over 150 charter schools on the south and the west side. Mostly in walking distance of another school. It's like today I was going to a summer camp, and I'm driving down 83rd Street going toward Damon, and there's a brand new Learn Elementary School that's sitting there in the neighborhood that hasn't opened yet. And there's elementary schools in that area. So
Yeah,
some
we got to move off the topic. Can I get you on record before we get off the education front? So on from your vantage point, we got too many charters. That's what you're saying. And what do people need to do? Because you're a local school council. Congratulations on getting on there. Like, give us that before you conclude, if you don't mind, Evan.
and no problem. Because when they're going to come again after the school board and pay attention to the school board election in November that's coming up with this elected school board. A lot of the people who are running have ties to parent choice. Letting you know.
To who?
Parent choice. So your parent could take their child to anywhere. So, which is basically a cute way of saying privatizing, which goes back again to charter. But even though they say they're not private, but it's public private. It's a pseudo private school. Again, you could sit down and have to look your public goal. When these local school councils have their meetings, find out when the meeting is, and go in. They should have committees. Make them have committees, and come up and sit there and find out what's going on in your neighborhood.
But it's hard getting parents involved though. Like, so really, even some of the schools don't have full LSCs, right?
Yeah, a lot of schools don't have full LSCs.
Yeah, so that's two toes to your argument, because if the parents not active, how we expect the youth to be?
Yeah, but again, here's because some of that is a lot of that is CPS's fault. Because back in the early days of local school councils, they pushed it. They used to have, public service announcements on radio and television. They don't, stuff on buses. They really don't do that now.
So, all right, we got to move. How people reach you, man? How do people connect with you to learn more about this? Because you so well versed on this education stuff. So how do people reach you?
And call me. It's the easiest way. My number is 773-547-6546.
Can you put it in the chat too?
Yeah, I can put it in chat.
Excellent. Yeah, Pam will get it logged in. Man, I thank you for your time, man. Because your last name is alphabet C, you done it. You was with me. You was with us in January. 6 months later, July. You done for this year, 2026. This is your thank you for your service this year, and we won't bug you again to January next year. So if you want to stay on, fine, man. But if not, I thank you for helping to keep the spindle spinning.
Oh, one more thing, if I can.
Yep.
In this every summer, Sarah knows me and the
missus.
And missus. Well, ex-missus now, but still, we still get along. She does a drama summer camp. And at the end of the summer camp, there is a play at the end of the camp. I sent you the flyer.
Okay.
But this year is August 9th at Art in Motion High School, which is on 71st. I forget the exact address, but the tickets are like $20. So we're still in session through August 9th. So the other thing is, if people want to donate, however, whatever, they can do that too. You can reach me with that too. But that's the thing. Like I said, we take every year she does. We do a big production, play production at the end of the year. She got like 20,
and that's zip code 20.
Right, her zip code is 20. Right.
So Jacqueline, so we got to make sure Jacqueline, as her governor, is that we promote it all year long on duty day, which is the first Friday of each month. They ask people to put the money up too, because that'll help us with advertising too,
Yeah.
I got you. Excellent. Now I'm about to show something every first Friday. Can y'all see this? Is you able to see that, Evan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'm about to break down what just happened, because we're near the end on what you guys just did with alphabets A through E. Let's blow this up so we can skip all the writing away from this circle. We only care about this circle, y'all. All right. So the circle is a protected bubble. And as Black people, with all the other people benefiting on exploiting us, The goal is to get us into protective bubbles. Wherever you are, whatever zip code you're in, anywhere, we want you to have a protective bubble around you so the external forces can't hurt you. And if they do, not without us knowing and tracking them down and holding them accountable. But the protective bubble is our way of operating as scattered people. Whether you're in Detroit, St. Louis, rural Georgia, whatever zip code you're in, we want to make sure you know the other people in that zip code who are allies, like the Green Book, if you will. So with that in mind, that's what the circle is. Now, inside that circle, if you don't have oxygen, we go be inside a death trap. So that spindle in the middle spinning is the key, because as long as that spindle is spinning, it's allowing oxygen to flow, which allows us to grow and do what we do. So what this illustration is how we use our 20 zip codes, our 20 US cities, to each take turns spinning the spindle. Every day, somebody is spinning the spindle. No day can go without spinning the spindle, because that's our oxygen. We die if the spindle stops spinning. Now, I want to get y'all thoughts on that, but I want to break the codes down before we do that. Today is BS4. It's Blue Saturday. It's the 4th Saturday of the month. I'm going to zoom in on BS4 right there. BS4. Okay, so today is their day to spin the spindle. So if you know anyone in South Shore, in 60649 zip code, in Miami, in Zambia, in Africa, if they not helping us spin the spindle, they suffocating us. But let me get y'all thoughts on that. What y'all think about the way I broke down the spindle and the protective bubble?
Okay.
Do it make sense? That's everybody. What do y'all think about that?
Of course, it makes sense. Yeah.
What does
Yes,
this
sir.
say to you, though? Like, what is this saying to you? How do you interpret that, or how would you explain it?
Mm. That if we're not working together, we're not going to exist. And we have to be mindful of, to use your word, remember the days, the times, and what goes on each day so that we can keep it going.
Keep it going. I like keep it going. That's the key, keeping it. And what about not burning out? Like, where do you put that in? Does this burn people out?
Oh, no, of course not. Twice a year? No way possible. No way possible.
It's a thing of beauty, because if Evan Credit on Monday needs some students or needs some parents, that's GM4. So even in his zip code, there are GM4 people who are in the trades that he should be able to tap into if they're helping to spin the spindle. And that means they're ready. They're going to be available, because we haven't asked them to do nothing since January this year. So now Eben got someone, because they spin the spindle, he can tap into that ain't burnt out. So I think that's the main thing, y'all. It's set up for us to win, not set up for us to fail.
Amen.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Well, I look at it like freedom. That's what I see. I just see freedom, you know.
Right.
Not separation, Governor.
I mean,
That
all the
bubble.
time, separation is first and foremost, but separation means freedom. If you don't
Yes.
believe in separation, then you don't believe in liberation. Because,
Yes. Yes.
you know, as long
Yes.
as we're under the control and rule of other people, you know what I mean? We'll never
Right.
be liberated. And this system, I always tell Sai, I said, Sai, people, we know people are gravitating to it, you know, slowly but surely, but
Right.
people are going to run to this. They going to speed dash to it when this stuff really turn terrible, and they going to see the value in it. Watch what I tell
Get
you.
inside the
They're
boat.
gonna
Yeah.
run to
Get
it.
inside the boat. That's right. And that's the beauty of God. I'm glad you broke it down like that. They're gonna run to under the umbrella. They getting wet. They go run underneath it so they can stop getting wet.
Yeah.
First met.
Hold on, here, Governor. What'd you say, Governor Joe?
I remember when I first met the Queen,
Erica.
Sister Erica. Yeah, Carlos invited me to a piece that she was having at the on 79th. and that's when I met her, and I was talking about NBCU, and piqued her interest, and she been around there since.
Now, Governor Eric, you remember that? Because I forgot how we got connected, and Joe told me that story.
Yep, I remember. I got the picture, Joe. I got the picture. Yep, I'm gonna send it to Ty later today. I got the picture.
I know our first meeting was in McDonald's on 67 or 60 something in Stony Island, but nah. So yeah, and so the key with this with this circle, the protective bubble, you guys, it's really the dollar is the only thing preventing this. Because right now we do have all the codes covered. So every day, but if we're not backing it up with support, some people phones cut off, some people kind of got booted, somebody that they so just know that when you're asking people for their time and they got to survive, we got to be able to meet the needs of our people. We got to be able to treat the wounds so that they can do what's natural for them, which is spinning the spindle, being there for Black people, circulating and helping. And we got too many people exploiting us. That's why we want to get inside the bubble. So it's really all love. And then when you got to go outside the bubble, you know you're going to be fighting the enemy, but at least you can have that fight and then get back inside the bubble where you can be recharge your batteries. So yeah, I'm glad. Anybody else got any thoughts on that?
No.
All right. So let's do this on the political side, y'all. And Evan kind of kicked it off. We already talked about the Senate being the most powerful body. And so that's why Mississippi, Georgia, these places where we're over 20% in population, we do need to make sure that we get people to be registered to vote. It's not the end all be all, but what it is, it's allowing us to make sure we're doing that part. Like what good is you trying to heat your house and you leave 2 windows open, but you close the door? Like, you know, you need to close the windows and the doors in order to feel the effects of heating the house. So we want to make sure that we're doing those parts too. And I want to show you guys this here so people can kind of know why voting plays a role, but it's not the end all be all. Where is it? I had it ready. While I'm pulling that up, let's recognize this brother here. This is Carol Mosley Braun, brother, y'all, right here. Joseph Mosley. I want to give him a shout out. He's a Black police, retired police detective. He worked in homicide, and he served Chicago his whole career. He got on the police convention call with us July 11th, and he was able to give us insight. That YouTube video is up there, but we gave him this recognition to say thank you for him and his service. Anyone got any thoughts on that with Brother Mosley?
I just say I'm grateful to have someone like him within our circle, within our structure. You know, the big difference. It really does. I appreciate him.
And that's I'm glad you said that. That's real talk, because a lot of times it's the non-us and they can care less about us. Some of our people don't either, but at least this brother here got a reason because of what his family has contributed to us for us as a people. All right, here we go. Let me do this right here. We got 15 minutes. So predictability and guaranteed audiences, you guys, everything based on timing is predictable because it keeps rotating around. And anything talking about layers of support is the guaranteed audience. So shoot holes through this. All accountants and landlords, we want them to be fighting to help ninth graders out. That is a structured accountants and landlords in every zip code. For one, getting to know the other accountants in the zip code, the other landlords in the zip code, and them competing to put money and support behind freshmen. That's guaranteed audiences. When you see every second Tuesday of the month, that's the predictability. Because if you miss this second Tuesday, you can get on the next second Tuesday. And so this here will put us in that protective bubble where every ninth grade parent in the zip code know that they got an audience that's ready to support. And then they know when they can get the support on regular, which is the second Tuesday. But if it's an emergency, they get in touch with their governor and we can try and work that out. But look at each of these professions and then look at the date so y'all can know the date is the timing, predictable, and the guaranteed audience is those professions and the grade that they're linked to. What do y'all think about this?
Mm-hmm.
Any thoughts on that at all? That's education and economics right there, y'all.
This is a good visual to remind us of who does what and how we could even feed into it.
Yeah.
And if you're a parent of any high schooler, you should be making a copy of this. When y'all watch this later, make a copy, because it's like if you're in Mississippi, you got apparel people in Mississippi, you got plumbers in Mississippi, you got doctors. So this is for wherever we at. Let's organize those people and get them committed to that grade, and then let's keep those dates rotating as the spindles keep spinning around. Second Tuesday go come when we dead and gone, y'all. Fourth Saturday go come, we dead and gone, y'all. So the spindle go spin forever. We just got to make sure enough people keep learning about it and supporting it.
Right.
And then there's no one to kill. How you go kill the third Wednesday or the fourth Saturday? You can't kill time.
Oh.
So that makes it unstoppable. All right, let's take that one down. Put this one up. Because I want to make sure I cover this political thing with the voting. Definitely want to cover that. We got Governor Joe out here, y'all, physically with me. This is his father right here, his late father. And don't he look just like Governor Joe, y'all? Wait, don't Joe look just like his daddy?
Yeah, he showed
Joe, we
do.
got your daddy on the national. Let's get him to put his face over here. But this here, we want everyone to do this for your loved ones, y'all. This is going to speed up your family who will respect your elder more than maybe you.
That's
And
really
you put
nice.
their picture on this. It changed. Joe, let me see your face right quick. Y'all see that's his son. If his daddy can't deny him. Can they deny you as your daddy? Nah, so that's real, yeah. But the more people, so we want everyone to promote them putting their picture. Like, let me know so I can get their picture, and so we can make sure that this is in every household, y'all. This strengthens everything we doing when every household get their unique one for their loved ones, even if they're in Mississippi, Detroit. We got people in Africa with theirs in all the way in Zambia and Congo. So just know that this is big to get this everywhere, y'all. Any thoughts on that?
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Doing it for my dad, but I'm gonna get him next year for his birthday.
No, we do it now. Send it to him when we get off.
Oh, I'm gonna wait for his birthday.
Okay, yeah. Whenever you're ready, just know we that take 5 seconds. We get that joker done.
Yeah.
All right, I thought I had it in here, but I don't see it anyway. But I'm gonna put this one up because this is close to it right here, you guys. So, reality check is the fact that unfortunately we got our people who some have given up and they just idle. They just in the cesspool. They surrounded by toxicity. And so with those people, our approach should be when we approach people who kind of gave up, don't hit them with all 7 habits because they ain't trying to hear that. Find out the one area that they do care about. Like even if they like eating, okay, we go eat on Wednesday at this black restaurant. So we got to know how to remotely and invisibly pull them out of the cesspool, even when they might not want to. You know what I mean? Some people they trying to gain weight or lose weight. Hey, come jogging with me. I'm gonna take you out to eat afterwards or whatever. Get them out there on Thursday. So just know that's an approach with the cesspool. The merry-go-round we talked about already. People doing their 300 events over the summer. Let's do it on tour. So that way now we getting synchronized. And then the chilling, those are people who like, man, forget that. I'm just having a good time. I don't want to hit none of that. So with them, you do the same thing with the cesspool, with the people chilling, and you find out what, even if it's their child that's a 12th grader, and we link them with the plumber and they get them an award. Now we looping in that parent. Even though they're in chill mode, they see a benefit, and then that might get them to adopt the habits as well. Then here is listing that education is important, but we got more educated people than anybody else, and we still in the boat we in. So we got to do educate and more. Grants are important. People getting the grants, I get all that, but doing for self is the key because they can always cut your grant. We not gonna cut doing for self if we conscious. Praying matters, but the Bible even talks about faith without works is dead. So we got to pray and we got to do the work. marching and protesting. That's cool, but you got to go home. And unfortunately, a lot of times when we marching and protesting on our block, we don't even know our neighbors. So we got to, again, block by block, do it. Buying black is crucial, but we also got to make sure our black owners are not loving or chasing European models of success. Because if all of us go to the black business, but then they giving all their money to Europe, they got the European cars, trips to Paris, foreign cars by Europe, all of that stuff. We're taking our resources, giving it right back to the people. Voting matters. That's what we was just talking about. But I always love to get this example. Wyoming and Vermont have less people than Detroit, Michigan. But because Detroit is a city, they don't have 2 senators for Michigan, black senators. Whereas Vermont got 2 white senators, West Virginia got 2 white senators, Maine, all these white places got 2 senators, even though they're tinier than Detroit, Michigan. So if everyone in Detroit voted 100% vote, which nobody gets that, they still can't elect 2 senators. Even if 100% of them, which is 600,000 of them, they can't elect 2 senators because they're in the state, and the state determines, who the senator is going to be, not your municipal city. Do that make sense, y'all?
Yeah.
So that's big. We gotta, they got us pigeonholed in these cities, and the cities, unfortunately, is where they focus on to get out the vote. It's the states. And so in the South, where we're all over the state, we're all over the state of Georgia, we're all over the state of Mississippi, we're all over the state of Alabama. That's where we can really get those black senators elected at. Then police, we not go police our way out of it. Y'all know police was slave patrol. We already know that, but just knowing we do need black police, so we don't want to be totally against police because we need our people there who can give us some balance. There was a good report of a white police getting ready to really probably choke out a black man in court, and the black officer, big guy, he stood in between the white cop and said, "What are you doing, man? What are you doing?" And he stopped that cop who had went past. He was in demon mode, and he was really trying to choke this guy out, and the black cop stood in between him and made him stop. And because the black cop was so husky and big, it wasn't nothing the white cop could do. That's why we need black police. You know what I mean? And then jobs. If all of us had a job, that still don't stop us from giving our money to people who don't care about it. So we gotta get jobs, but we also gotta get people to buy black to name their folk. All right, what do y'all think about that?
Yeah, that's true. No, it's true. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, make all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
And you guys see this in your zip codes, people doing one over the other, and they say, if we just get everybody. Those are the fatal words to me, y'all. Because everybody say that. In Alabama, they say that. In Detroit, they say that. You're not going to get everybody. You're not, like, we all at a different moment in time. You know what I mean? Somebody just lost their mom, so they ain't thinking about no activism. They trying to heal. Somebody over here getting evicted. They only think about help. So the notion that you're going to get everybody, except us, y'all. And I'm going to tell y'all why. The notion you're going to get everybody lets me know that you're not block by block. Because if you block by block, you go know the atheists on the block. You go know all these other people who don't want to have nothing to do with nobody. And if you know that, then you won't be saying you go get everybody. What do y'all think about that? Anybody?
Yeah.
Now, y'all heard my little biased piece in there, right? What I just said, except us.
Yeah.
Let me explain that. The reason I say except us is because we're actually 3 organizations in one. We are a personal organization, meaning we're there for you personally, right? This is our logo, the 3 circles. The first circle is personal. The second organization is your neighborhood. That's the zip code, your block. Then the third one is your profession. So out of those 3 things, we gonna get you. Whether it's personal, whether it's your neighborhood, or whether it's your profession, we got you surrounded. We got you surrounded by 3, actually. But the key is because you're in the zip code, we can wait you out. We got people who the first 3 years was totally against us. Now they with us. We didn't change. We doing the same thing we've been doing, but they was at a different time in their life, and then they came around, and now they see value. And so that's what I mean by except us. Most organizations can't stick with people who are not vibing with them. They got to be on to the next one. But because we zip code based, we stay there. You know, we there forever. You know. So what do y'all think about that?
Mm-hmm. That's a good way of looking at it.
And some of my people we argue with, they like, man, you talking about like y'all. And when I say y'all, it ain't y'all, it's we, because we all in the zip code. Like everyone in America is in the zip code. We just take the time to collect the information, build a relationship, stay connected with people with the duty they wouldn't even know how to stay in touch with everybody, But I told them to come out, yeah, but you ain't have a process in place. So all right, y'all. The last piece before we get out of here is the conventions. So we just finished the religious convention and on 4th of July weekend, the police convention, the July 11th, the truck drivers convention, July 18th, and then today the lawyers convention. All conventions are out of Gary, Indiana, so that we have that excuse for our people all over America to travel here. Eventually, our people from Africa travel here and attend the convention of their choice, whether it's the political one, the nursing one, whatever it is. And next month is our political convention. Next month is our military convention. So all our Air Force, Navy vets getting together, always in Gary. And today's summit is always in Chicago. So we got Gary, Chicago. We want everyone all over the world coming here to synchronize and harmonize with us. So that's it, you guys. Thank y'all for y'all time. Again, we won't bug you again until January 27th. That's the summit in January 2027. And any closing remarks from anybody else before we conclude?
Well, we are all one crew, A to E. So I hope to see you all again in January.
you know, can't this what we should be doing though, just to put the expectation. A through E's should have a end of the month party to turn over to the F through K's, because that's who got it next. So the A through E's turning out the party, and the F through K's are coming so they can hand it over. And then the F through K's at the end of August gonna have a party for the L through O's. That's when we operating like that. We celebrating, but we celebrating with synchronization.
Yeah,
that's next level, y'all.
All right.
But no pressure now. We'll get there eventually.
Okay.
Thank y'all.
Love, love, love.
All right. Love, everybody.